After Tupac got killed, Puffy allegedly gave the money
I heard
to Zip.
Zip had a check in his right pocket, right back pocket, and that check was for $1 million.
if he would have gave them the money, it'd have been a murder for hire and Puffy would be locked.
I was asking big questions about the talents of Tyson, and Tyson really could not have answered them in a more emphatic manner.
Mike Tyson, how you feel about him saying that he wish he had 5 seconds in the room with Tupac killer?
I only need 1 second with you, dude.
Even after all these years, Tupac's murder is still one of Hollywood's greatest mysteries, with fresh, shocking information continually coming to light. One guy stands out among the details of the murder: Tyson and Diddy. This time, Mike Tyson, a close friend of Tupac, has criticized Diddy. Mike has alerted everyone about Diddy's truth and is prepared to exact revenge on his deceased friend. So this time, Diddy should be quite frightened.
Mike Tyson, how you feel about him saying that he wish he had 5 seconds in the room with Tupac killer?
I only need 1 second with you, dude.
One of the best rappers the world has ever seen was Tupac. He participated in several gangs and acts of violence, like the majority of rappers at the time. This way of living may initially look great and badass, but it doesn't work out well. Tupac had a lot of adversaries in the business, including some very well-known and formidable figures. His worst error, though, was to offend Diddy, the biggest bully and monster in Hollywood.
Probably gonna get robbed at Wall Street.
Well, I don't think I'm not going to say he knew exactly he was going to get robbed, but he knew he was going to get dealt.
Everyone was surprised and grieved by Tupac's death, but none more so than his close friend Mike Tyson. Mike isn't just upset over Tupac's passing. He's also very enraged and prepared to fight.
Tyson, how you feel about him saying that he wish he had 5 seconds in the room with Tupac killer?
I only need 1 second with you, dude.
Mike is prepared to exact revenge on Tupac the moment he spends some time with Tupac's killer. Mike makes threats, but Thief D, the thug who was paid to carry out the hit, isn't concerned by them. This may be so because Keith is aware that the person who actually killed Tupac, the one who gave the order and paid for the hit, is the one who will be the object of Mike's fury rather than him.
Who was close friends with Tupac, said that he wishes he had 5 minutes in the room with Tupac's killer.
That person is well known to all. Mike is a match for Diddy, equally aggressive and enraged. Therefore, Diddy should be very afraid of his threats. In an interview, he discussed Tupac's death and claimed that everything had been arranged. I simply believe, and this is just my personal opinion, that everything was pre-planned. That was the ideal time for something similar to occur. Everyone was planning to attend, and everyone knew it. The reason his friend was killed, according to Tyson, was that he was a force that other men in the business feared. This is the arrangement with Tupac, and this is the simple truth. Just a force, Tupac. The issue was that he was an uncontrollable force. He was strong. He was impossible to control. Mike can't help but feel somewhat accountable. I feel a little bad about pressing him into the fight and him showing up, he admitted.
I was asking big questions about the talents of Tyson, and Tyson really could not have answered them in a more emphatic manner.
That evening, I was going to accompany him for a date. I committed to accompanying him that evening to the 662. However, since I had my kid so recently, her mother had been pressuring me to stay at home. I thus stayed in. Mike and Tupac had a wonderful, unwavering friendship that got its start in an unanticipated way. Tupac chose to see Mike while he was in jail, despite the fact that the two men hardly knew one another. He remembers how the two met and how they became friends. Someone called, and it was Tupac's mother. She described how she knows me through her son and how I met him at a nightclub and how he wants to visit me. I responded, "Great, good." Tyson now has a lot of regrets about not hanging out with Tupac during those times. Tupac was a true friend he had found, but Diddy stole it from him. He wished for me to use marijuana with him all the time, but I never did. My biggest regret is that. He praised Tupac as if he were a saint. Mike and Tupac had a very special relationship, and he wants everyone to know how much Tupac meant to him. He has a heart the size of the earth. You couldn't even perceive his love and compassion because of his anger. He will continue to exist until the end of this earth. I'm grateful to have known him and to have been a part of his life. Mike was devastated by Tupac's passing and raging at Diddy. But the rage toward Diddy actually began much earlier. At his weakest, Diddy harmed Mike. When Mike's career took a hit, Diddy didn't help him get back on his feet in a respectable way. Instead, he got him engaged in all kinds of wild parties. Mike wanted someone true, like Tupac, who would always be there for him, to get him out of this hole. However, Diddy left him considerably more wrecked than when he arrived. Mike's desire to challenge Diddy is understandable. The most powerful producer in Hollywood allegedly killed Tupac in cold blood, and this is no longer just a rumor. For the sake of money and power, Diddy is a dangerous man who isn't afraid to get his hands dirty.
I'm doing this, my mother died, my father died, I'm on myself, I'm selling my body to these people, and then these people tell you some stuff, and you say, fuck, yeah, I don't belong here.
According to the investigator investigating Tupac's death, Diddy was the one who gave the order for the hit. He imposed a $1 million hit on both Soon and Tupac Shakur. The cause? Nothing but his ego wounds. After his and Biggie's well-known rap battle, he ordered this hit. How do you suppose the detective learned? The hit's hired thug who admitted it himself. Even then, the detective was powerless to prosecute Tupac. There are restrictions to American law. They are free to provide all of the information they have on their involvement in a crime, but we are not allowed to utilize whatever they say as evidence against them. Therefore, despite the fact that the murderer confessed to the crime and even said that Diddy had hired him, Diddy continues to be free. The police are aware of this, as are the detective and all of us. Diddy planned the whole operation and used several people to make sure his name wouldn't be connected to the killing. He didn't just shoot Tupac in the moment. After Tupac was killed, Diddy gave Sip $1 million, but Sip was just the intermediary. His task did not include killing Tupac. In reality, all he had to do was send the money to the murderer. Diddy attempted to be meticulous in his job, but he was unable to stop Gene Deal, his security at the moment, from looking around. We didn't verify the veracity of this story by looking into how Zip obtained the funds. Who shot Tupac if Zip wasn't the shooter? Diddy is not some outlaw from a little town. He associates with the worst gangsters that America has ever seen. He is a whole mafia. Keith D is one of these gangsters. Diddy had actually hired Keith to carry out the murder. But hold on, the story has yet another turn. Keith also denied being responsible for Tupac's death, at least in his own words. Orlando Anderson, according to Keith's nephew, was the person. Keith is just as fearless as Diddy. He even speaks honestly about the shooting and horrible killing of Tupac. He discussed it in an interview. We've just arrived at the lights. They were doing the right thing. There were roughly 17 vehicles. The first shot struck Big Boy in the head as we were just pulling up in the gutter lane and seeing their SS. I believed he was deceased. He's dead, like damn. Keith never received the money he was expecting to receive from Zip. While this damaged Keith and Diddy's relationship, it also enabled Diddy to stay out of the murder investigation directly. Diddy may have faced charges in court, and Tupac might have at last obtained justice if the money had made it to Keith.
He and them never got the check, which in the grand scheme of things probably worked out best if Puff actually did write a check for that, because otherwise you'd be connected to that situation.
Zip, Keith, and Anderson were all merely pawns in Diddy's scheme. He and his friends were the true assassins. Diddy still gets nervous when questioned about Tupac and his murder. He is so determined to avoid answering this question that it is obvious he is uncomfortable doing it.
That claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense.
Diddy can never escape this fate, of course. Everyone is aware of what he did, and they won't allow him to forget it. Famous rappers like Eminem openly discuss Diddy's involvement in murder in his songs. The day you put out a hit is the day Diddy admits he put out the hit that got Pac killed. Even though Diddy likes to think of himself as a gangster, he is powerless to stop people from talking. Well, unless he attempts to target them all as well. According to a supporter, Tyson and Tupac had a lovely friendship, so it seems sense that he still wants to do what is right for his friend. Just watched a moving video of Mike Tyson and Tupac moments before his passing. Tyson genuinely loved Tupac, and he was heartbroken that he was gone. Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to like and comments. Also subscribe our channel for more videos.